Apple just turned on the next phase of its Digital ID rollout. There was no press release, no big stage presentation with bright lights, just a quiet update to a support page titled, "If you're asked to confirm that you're an adult." Now, the passport-derived credential in your Apple Wallet can be used to confirm you are over 18 when you create an Apple account, update your iOS, adjust your safety settings, or try to download an app rated 18+. Your phone is no longer just a communication device. It is a digital bouncer that decides if you are allowed to use the hardware you already paid for. Apple's vice president of Apple Pay and Apple Wallet says they are excited to expand the ways you store and present your identity. They call it security and privacy built into your iPhone and Apple Watch. But the reality is that the first organization to accept this digital ID for age verification is now Apple itself. They built the lock, they built the key, and now they are the first ones standing at the door telling you to prove who you are before you can update your own software. When this first launched last November, it was framed as a workaround for the slow progress of state-issued mobile driver's licenses. At that time, only 12 states and Puerto Rico supported adding a real driver's license to the Wallet app. That left most iPhone owners in the US without a digital credential, so Apple simply built their own. At launch, the only place that really cared about it was the TSA at about 250 airports. It felt like a niche travel feature. It isn't a niche anymore. It is becoming the gatekeeper for your digital life. The infrastructure for online identity verification is being constructed in parallel by every major platform. This isn't a coincidence. It is a timeline driven by laws coming down the pipeline. The UK's Online Safety Act is already forcing platforms to verify ages with documented credentials. The European Union is preparing an age verification framework. Australia has already passed a law to ban social media for anyone under 16. In the US, states like Texas, Louisiana, and Utah are passing mandates that target app stores, social platforms, and adult content sites. Google is moving along the exact same track. They have the Android Identity Credential API and the Google Wallet pivot toward digital IDs. They are positioning themselves for the same legal moment Apple is meeting right now. Meta has been pushing age estimation tools across Facebook and Instagram. Discord tried its own rollout earlier this year, paused because everyone hated it, and is now reworking the system. These companies don't always talk to each other, but the pattern is unmistakable. The big tech giants are racing to operationalize digital identity infrastructure to meet these mandates. The most annoying part is that these companies didn't even invent this demand. Lawmakers did. But the tech companies are responding faster than the laws are being written. The architecture they are building right now, the one where your phone holds a passport-derived credential, will outlast any specific law that prompted it. It's a permanent solution for a temporary legal headache, and you're the one who has to hand over your data to keep your phone working. If you think this stays limited to just buying an app, you're dreaming. The plan is for you to present this digital ID at additional select businesses and organizations for identity and age verification in person, in apps, and online. This is a system collapse for privacy. You used to just buy a phone and use it. Now, you buy a phone and then have to prove to the manufacturer that you are allowed to adjust your own safety settings or download a piece of software. You're being told this is for your safety. It's actually about making sure big tech stays compliant with every new government rule without losing a single cent of profit. They're turning your iPhone into a checkpoint because it's easier for them to manage you than it is for them to fight the laws. You are the product being managed. Your identity is the new terms and service agreement. If you don't show the ID, you don't get the update. If you don't get the update, your phone eventually becomes a brick. This infrastructure is being built by everyone. Apple, Google, Meta, Discord, and it's happening all at once. They are building a world where online and anonymous can no longer exist in the same sentence. They want a documented, verified, and tracked version of you every time you open an app. It's a total failure of the original promise of the internet. You're being walked into a digital cage and they're telling you the bars are there for your own protection. But Apple isn't the only one building this cage. The vendor ecosystem feeding this identity machine goes much deeper than just one company's wallet app. While Apple is busy turning your phone into a bouncer, the same legal pressure is forcing companies like Google and Meta to build an even more aggressive web of age estimation tools that track you even if you don't have a digital ID. The architecture being built right now is designed to outlast the politicians who came up with the laws. While Apple is the first to turn its own apps into checkpoints, they are drawing on a massive vendor ecosystem that is standardizing how you are tracked. This isn't just about one company, it's about a shared set of tools that every major platform is plugged into. Discord's verification flow, which was paused and then restarted after people complained, uses the same back-end logic. The companies don't always coordinate their press releases, but they are all buying from the same ID store. Think of it like this. The internet is being divided into verified zones. Google's Wallet Pivot and their Identity Credential API are designed to make sure Android users are just as locked down as iPhone users. Meta is doing the same thing by pushing age estimation tools across Facebook and Instagram. They aren't just guessing your age for fun, they are building the plumbing so that when a law in Texas or Louisiana says verify your users, they can flip a switch and demand your ID instantly. The bitter truth here is that these platforms are racing to see who can become the most compliant. In the past, tech companies at least pretended to fight for your privacy against government overreach. Now they are excited to expand identity storage. Why? Because if they hold your ID, they control your access. If you get banned or flagged, you can't just make a new account with a fake name. Your hardware, your OS, and your legal identity are being fused together. This is a system failure for anyone who values being left alone. In places like Utah or the UK, the law says protect the kids, but the technical reality is track everyone. To prove a user is not a child, the system has to check every user. Every time you update your phone or try to change a setting, you are bumping into a digital wall. Apple framing this as security and privacy is the ultimate sarcasm. It is secure for them, and it's private from everyone except the person holding the master key, which is Apple. The infrastructure is being built in parallel. This means while you're worried about what one app is doing, 5 other apps are installing the exact same verification tech in the background. They are preparing for a world where your digital ID is as necessary as an internet connection. If you don't have it, you're locked out of the safety settings. If you don't have it, you can't download an 18+ app. Eventually, you won't even be able to update your phone to fix a bug without showing your papers. What started as a handy way to get through TSA checkpoints at the airport has been weaponized into a requirement for basic phone maintenance. Apple didn't wait for every state to issue digital licenses. They got tired of waiting and built their own passport-derived system because they need you verified now to stay ahead of the lawsuits. They are building a bouncer that never sleeps and never lets you forget your ID at home. The move is a total failure for user freedom. You bought the phone, you own the hardware, but Apple is telling you that you don't own the right to use it unless you play by their identity rules. It's an empire move, building a digital territory where they are the judge, the jury, and the ID issuer. And the worst part? Most people will click agree just to get the notification to go away, not realizing they just handed over the last bit of anonymity they had left. The walls are closing in, and it's not just the apps you choose to download, it's the very system you use to download them. But the real danger isn't just that Apple knows who you are. It's how this digital ID architecture is designed to stay on your device forever, even after the laws that created it are long gone. The scary part is that once this digital bouncer is integrated into the heart of your operating system, it doesn't go away. Even if a specific law in Texas or the UK gets overturned later, the code is already there. The buttons are already in your wallet. The habit of proving your age just to change a setting will be the new normal. We are looking at a permanent solution for a temporary legal headache. Big tech is tired of being sued, so they are building a world where they never have to take a risk again. If you can't verify your identity, you don't exist to them. You become a second-class citizen on your own device. This is the bitter truth your favorite tech reviewers aren't talking about. Your phone is slowly being turned into a tracking collar that you paid $1,000 to wear. The fact that Apple did this without a press release is the biggest red flag of all. They know this is a system collapse for privacy. They know that if they shouted it from the rooftops, people would realize that the privacy they brag about in commercials is being traded away to stay on the good side of lawmakers. They are banking on you being too busy or too tired to notice that the bouncer just moved into your living room. So where does this leave us? You're stuck in a vendor ecosystem where Apple, Google, Meta, and Discord are all racing to see who can build the tightest cage. They want a world where every click is tied to a government-verified ID. It's a failure of everything the internet was supposed to be. It's not about safety, it's about control. It's about making sure that no matter where you go online, big tech can point to a file and say, that's Kelly G and we have her passport to prove it. It's time to stop falling for the "it's for the kids" excuse. This infrastructure is for everyone. It's for you. And once you hand over that ID to download an app or update your iOS, you can't take it back. The gate is closing and the lock is digital. Is having a passport-verified phone worth the loss of your anonymity? Or is this the point where we finally say the system is cooked? Let me know in the comments if you're actually going to use this feature or if you're looking for a way out. Drop a sub if you're tired of being lied to by the people selling you your own privacy. I'll see you in the next one.